Welcome to our stream. Welcome to Asylum Atelier. Welcome to Painting Discourse. I hope that you're having a great day today. I certainly am because I'm back into my studio again, working on the fragment painting, which I need to finish as soon as possible. So I don't really, again, want to spend that much time with introductions and so on and so forth. Just a couple things that I want to address at the beginning. First one is, please do not watch this stream. This is not about, entertainment. This is not about me giving you, maybe some kind of a secret knowledge that, you're gonna listen or see today and or watch the video or watch the stream, and tomorrow morning you're going to be able to paint. That's not how it works. The best way to enjoy this stream is definitely to join me and paint alongside with me. And when I say paint, it does not necessarily mean painting with oil pigments as I do right now. When I say paint, I mean create. So it could be writing, it could be sculpting, it could be even composing and music. It doesn't really matter, because these ideas, abstract ideas that we discuss here, you can apply them for any aspect of art or any, a branch of art. I think that that's something that describes this kind of a stream the best. That it's just a painting discourse and discourse in general when it comes to art. And maybe I should switch it and call it art discourse, because there's really a lot of topics, and it actually spans all the way, across the philosophy. Sometimes we talk about physics, even though I'm not a physicist. I wanted to say physician. I'm not a physicist. I am not a philosopher. I don't have a degrees into these departments. I am not a historian, but we talk about the history a lot. But it's all from the point of view of a painting, of a composition. So these informations are not necessarily valuable as a research paper, but they're more kind of an idea, abstract concept that then you can apply to your work, or you don't need to applying it. You can actually test it and decide whether or not you want it to be there. And I think that that's the beauty of this journey, these experiments that we do here. At the beginning of these streams, I was talking about that I am making 95% of my work are mistakes, but then I realized that maybe mistake is not the correct word, and it's not the correct way to think about this. These are more experiments. These are more about exploring what canvas can take in my particular case. I really at this point focus more on that exploration, and I'm really pushing that idea of exploring and having fun with pigments and having fun with paint. And I know that it's difficult to think that way. I know that it's difficult to to just and especially when you are at the beginning of your journey as an artist or painter. In my case, it's difficult to just sit down and relax and just paint for fun. But I think that would re-spark my passion for painting, because for a longer time, especially these rigorous days in the academy, when you have to paint, you have to study, you have to secure a food for yourself. They were really pressing down mentally. I don't want to say that I was depressed. It's just I had the feeling that this is not going anywhere, and it was all because of that amount of pressure that I built up, that I created myself inside, that I have to pick up the brush and I have to paint tomorrow. That's not what painting is about. And the more I paint, the longer create, you know, in let's say in right now I work in the Blender, in the ZBrush, Maya, and you know, these 3D softwares. I see that, you know, you can really apply these creative ideas across everything. Even though I don't know how to model perfectly, let's say in Blender, it somehow doesn't stop, it doesn't discourage me from moving forward, only because I have that experience with the painting. And I realized that, you know, paint a perfect, realistic hand, it's not necessarily the goal of painting. And that kind of gave me the freedom. The freedom also came from that kind of a safe space and the safe environment that I created around myself when it comes to painting. Everything outside of these walls, it's really difficult for me to navigate. But right here in these, you know, what is it, 7 by 7 meters or 7 squares, 7 meters square. It's really, really kind of a fortress of creativity. That's how I think about it. And it, again, it did not started immediately. It didn't happen just, you know, I woke up. It actually, I have to say that freedom of just, you know, painting what I want and how I want started during the early 2020, the beginning of the pandemic, when we just all got locked in our own home, and I didn't have, you know, the outside contact with anybody, and not with other students, not with another masters, and just a really limited options when it comes to socializing. And I had the chance to internalize some things, and you know, and find my own way how I want to approach. How do I want to approach painting and the creative process? So it's not, you know, I'm talking about this specifically because these streams supposed to help us and support each other in these difficult moments. So if you feel that you don't have enough creativity, if you feel that you're wasting your time with some kind of a random things, I know that feeling, and I know that it's gonna go away if you focus a little bit more on that creative process, or understanding that creativity, that it's outside. That means that being outside, going for a walk, have a cup of coffee, maybe observe how people behave, or how to react to certain things, would give you broader perspective about some ideas that you have in your paintings, right? Or going to a library to see some lecture, or maybe going to a university because they offer a lot of free lectures that you can just sit in and listen to. Those are the things that I highly recommend you to just, you know, explore. And every city, even the smallest one, even if we talk about the village, it, you know, let's just think about the nature in general. There is always something to observe, to analyze, and maybe turn into some creative project. So, you know, I was experimenting with leftover pigments, with just a paper that was, you know, sealed with a PVA, and paint on top of it, the wooden board that was, you know, just laying somewhere in the back of my studio. So all these creative things are not happening because we have some predetermined structure of how to paint. Quite the contrary, actually, because we do not have it, and art does not have boundaries. The only boundary that is there is just that perhaps the size that I'm working on right now, and everything else goes, right? So that would be our stream, that would be our understanding, or actually our asylum atelier, that kind of a space when you can really explore and don't feel that you're being judged. And that's something that really helped me just to disassociate myself from that kind of a judgment. But you know, I'm still critiquing, and I'm being really harsh towards these paintings that I do myself. And I have to, you know, look at it from a perspective of, okay, this and this doesn't work. and I need to find the solution for these things. So please join me with your creative process. Share with all of us what your struggles are, what the solutions were, and maybe some other additional ideas. I also want to start maybe writing a little bit more in my free time, and maybe get some, like a small short essays about, what goes through my mind when I, searching for the solutions perhaps, and share that, the kind of a deeper creative process that it's difficult to express just, with the random words and just the freestyle, because most of these things are really at the edge of my own understanding of what painting is, and it's just it's that frontier of my knowledge as well. And I want to put it out there, perhaps, on the website. So, but that's, just the projects for the future, because there's going to be, I don't want to see a lot of free time, because till the December 24th, I have every day scheduled, and I have a really hard time to do any other thing. But then, in the span of that Christmas and New Year's Eve period, I would like to also, start writing a little bit more, because I miss it. I really miss it. I'm not really a good writer. I've never been, but it's helping me to internalize my thoughts. And actually, the moment when they are on the paper, and then you read it on the, later on, maybe next day, maybe a week later, you can kind of see whether or not what you're saying and your ideas actually make sense, even to you, with all the knowledge that you have. It works very similar to a painting, where, every brush strokes, every adjustments, every idea that I put there, it somehow immediately reflects certain results. Not somehow, I know that, I know how I can see it, that I put this there and that, some other place. So yeah. This is about the introduction when it comes to, how to enjoy these streams. Like I said, no entertainment whatsoever. This is the most boring place to be that I know when it comes to some kind of a flashy graphics, and perhaps some action-packed ideas that I'm just gonna grab the brush and create something with 30 seconds. Ain't gonna happen with me 100%. You would have to definitely find some different stream. But if you're looking for some good place to work alongside, this is a place to be, definitely. So please join that conversation, join that painting discourse, or rather art discourse at this point already, as we grow a little bit as a group. And when I said a little bit, I mean really a little bit, but that's all I was hoping for, and I'm really happy for that. So that's the first part, and I know first part, and it's already 30 minutes went by. And the second part, I want to apologize for not being here yesterday, even though I promised you that I'll do my best. Unfortunately, there is no way that I can be on two places at the same time, and I couldn't manage that, transportation situation. And then when I get here, I was really drained from that meeting with another client. That's kind of another difficult project. But I'm going to talk about that project throughout the streams, because I have to start working on it as soon as possible. I still don't have a proper size. I still didn't decide. I still haven't decided on a proper size for the canvas. So that means that I don't have a stretcher bars. I still don't have a solid understanding of how do I want to do this composition. And yesterday I got some pieces and bits of the costume, the traditional fall dress, and it has a lot of patterns. It has a lot of parts to it, and it's really complicated. I thought it's going to be, as I remembered, very simple, just just a two-piece. but it's really, really complicated, and it's going to be a lot of patterning, which I don't want to say that I'm a fan of. I like to do patterns, but they can, they complicate everything all the time. Which reminds me that I have to start working on patterns for these guys as well. Not anything flashy, but something that would help separate these similar fabrics. So I will look into that as well, because that's something that I haven't talked about a lot, about the patterns and how patterns can also, create that variety within a unity, which is very, very important, as you all know, for me especially. So, like I said, again, I apologize, but there was just simply no way for me to make it happen. But and I'm rushing with the decisions, I'm rushing with the application, and I can always tell from my previous paintings which areas I was comfortable and I had enough time to figure them out and move and adjust, and which areas were just rushed through only because I had to put the paint down and finish it. That's the second thing. And the third thing is that it's really dark here right now. It's really gloomy. It's about to probably snow. I don't know how far I can get with this because I can barely see pigment right now. So maybe I'll focus on adjusting maybe proportions a little bit and designing certain areas and pushing it forward. I don't think I would be able to do anything major. Unless, again, I'll just get that feeling that I have to push it. So then I will. But yeah, so let's get into it. But before, let me check okay, again, I'm just, not keeping up with, with chat, which I apologize for. Again, so many apologies. Or actually recently, it was, and this is it has a lot of patterns. These are all handmade patterns. I don't know if you can see. I have to be careful because this is it looks like this. See these patterns. These are all handmade slowly. It is a really intricate patterns right here. So, and the reason why this was such a short shirt, it was because because people in my country, they're mostly like forests and hills and farming, so fields with potatoes and so on and so forth. So when they were working and they were leaning and working with wood and cutting wood, it was higher chance for them to get stuck on branches or some other things that you can find in forest. So they just have these short t-shirts. So when they move, they can move freely. Then we had like a really thick, huge belts. I don't have the belt here, but they used the huge belts. And I was asking, why did we have such a big belt? And again, the answer was very simple. Well, because people used to lift, or men used to lift a very heavy objects. So these thick belts actually worked as a prevention from injuries like a hernia and so on and so forth. So you can see them, the weightlifters, they still use these big belts. So they use them on around the waist and also on their wrists, just like a support. So, and it goes, then they have like for a little colder moments or days, they have like a special kind of I don't want to say it's a jacket, but it's like a warm wool coat that they used to hang around. Again, they use it for multiple purposes because they used to sleep all the way up in the mountains. So they use it as a blanket, and they also use it as a just a jacket when they, or a coat when outside was really, really cold, or on the they put it on the ground when they wanted to sit down or lay down. So it has like a lot of usage. And then they have like these really big baggy pants. I can show you those as well if you, since we started this topic. I wanted to leave it for next time, but I'll talk about it. So this is how big they were. It was just a one size. So this is this is not really my size, but this is how it looks. Well, yeah. So these are very simple ones, and you just have to. So you can really get some food into. So these are really big, but this is just a normal kind of a standard male size for them. So, and again, all these were really, when you look at it, everything is cut like a square or rather rectangle, and the reason is because that's just the simplest, the quickest shape that you can get. So, and since my region was really poor, they did not really think about elaborate costumes and cloth and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is what it's in front of us, and then also the instruments. That's just another part, and then the way how the instruments are being helped with hands in order to play. That's a whole other ball game. So there's just need to be some. I have to work on some hand studies probably. So maybe we can do that actually on the Bad Painting Friday, because that's going to be really bad painting Friday. So that's that. One size for all. Yes. It's a one size fits. It's like Lord of the Rings ring. So yeah, and it's really dark here. I don't know if you guys can see how dark it is here, but it's really dark. So let's check out what to do today. I think that yeah. That's just see, that would be actually pretty cool. I should do that just for fun. I should do that. Maybe I could do like a little, just to show, like a little, what was that? A necklace, and it's peeking out. Or maybe I can do it here, right here. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea when I think about it right now. Because if I sneak here a necklace, I could actually create another. See, Lord of the Rings all the way always helps. There is no limits to how useful that movie is in my life. And the movie, actually books, but since this is the age of movies and the visual entertainment more than just good old boring book reading. That's something that pops into my brain. And actually, I would love to this is really a good time for turn on the projector and just blast that Lord of the Ring director's cut extended unlimited or whatever, just a full of what is it, 10-11 hours of continuous awesomeness. Maybe that would be a maybe that would be a good thing to do when your calendar is so full that you would probably need 2 of them. Just kick back and sit down and watch 11 hours of Lord of the Rings. So good. So unfortunately, no one around me here in my country has particular big interest in Lord of the Rings. So I don't even have a watch parties when it comes to Lord of the Rings. it's just you want to, because that's something that when you watch that Lord of the Rings movies for, I don't know, I've seen it, I can quote most of the things during the movie, so I just get so excited and hyped. And then you look around in the empty studio and you're like, I want to share this joy with somebody, and unfortunately I don't have anybody here that would be such a big a fan of Lord of the Rings. I don't even know if we have here that many Lord of the Ring fans. But yeah, let's look at this, you know, alternate version of Lord of the Rings. Instead, they're not bringing the ring to Mordor; they're bringing a language to Great Moravia. It just sounds so funny when I say it in English. But you know, journey. It's the same thing. So yeah, if you're still eating, just make sure that you. This is something that I have a problem with. Just take your time, so the food has time to really digest properly. Not like me, that you get home at 10 p.m. and then you just like a bottomless pit, and I would eat everything that is at home, and then I can't sleep during the night. It's just something that I get used to since I was really young, and I still didn't adjust. I still haven't adjusted. Okay, let's look into this. I'm probably going to work on some design elements. Last time I actually hit this little shape right here, which was kind of crazy, but I'm okay with it. And I solved the problem with this ugly shape that was here, gaping right in the middle of a composition. So I'm very happy with that. I like that the shadow got softened a little bit more, closer to a like that kind of a with that penumbrum effect that we talk about edges and about Vermeer. So it was a good call to go into that. And then I again realized a mistake, since I have shoulders that goes this direction, right? So that would be here. Then I also put the hips the same way, again, just mirroring it. And that would be this, and it just went the same way, everything, and it created that kind of a weird repetition, right? And I talked about this a lot when we discussed composition, when I talked about the Rembrandt and his silhouette and his edges, and like when you divide it into half and quarters, like every part is different. It's never the same thing on the both sides. So I should drop this hip lower and this one is higher, so the diagonal has to go this way. I don't know if that's going to work for me, but I really have to try to push it that way. And the reason why I'm not sure if it's going to work, because then I'm going to create that kind of a same shape right here. But that's not what bothers me as much right now, because I can't really see the result. So I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it for now. Not that I'm not going to resolve it, but I'm not going to be as bothered about this kind of a shape, because I have some breaks in that. So I don't think that will go against that. And then the other problem is that this part, it's kind of in the area of his above his hips, a little bit higher. It almost feels like it's around his stomach, right? So that was another thing that was making him a little too disproportional, because you think, or your eye, and let me just measure it, just to make sure that I'm not again. So this is the head. Yeah. So this kind of look like right now a center of his body. Therefore, this seems too short compared to this distance. So I should probably lower this a little bit, and that will give the better kind of a overall feel of a proportion, right? So because he looks really bottom heavy or top heavy, I don't even know how to describe that. Is it everything okay as it's supposed to? Is this running properly? Okay. Okay, I think there's something is with the YouTube stream again. I don't know what's happening there, but anyway, we're still here. We're good. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm looking at it from a distance. Let me just get my trusted mirror. Yeah. That should definitely help if I drop it a little lower. And then again, I need to push portrait. I need to push these areas right here to make it really nice and vibrant, because this is the area of interest. And then maybe I can work on this guy a little bit, because he feels a little too neglected at this point. And especially I have to address that knee right there that I want to work. Yep. So how would I, maybe if I push that fabric a little bit more toward us, but then I'm afraid that if I push this toward us, I'm just going to create a similar feel on this side. Just going to look the same. Well, the only way is probably to try that. Or maybe I could work on this a little bit. Perhaps I could finally give him that, the thing that monks are wearing. That would kind of, probably that as well would push him a little bit more towards that male spectrum, since everybody thinks that it's a female. Let me see. Yeah, maybe we can do that. And it's really dark here. I don't know what to do. Should I turn on the light? Should I turn on the light? Let's see. Let's see how bad this is going to be. Maybe on one side. Oh, wow. This is crazy. So you can see the difference right now. Yeah, this is not helping at all. But it's actually a good demonstration of what is happening. And actually, these are the daylight lamps. But the problem is that, I have the floor and everything around here is reddish. So it's really, the light goes down and reflects around, and it's just getting really, really warm. And camera is making it even worse right now. So That's what I said, that it's just it's really difficult, like, because if you really want to work with the artificial light, you should have the room prepared for that as well. So probably this should be like a matte mid-tone floor, that it's not reflective at all, and then also the walls should be kind of a neutral gray as well, to make it work a little better than this is, because it's really the orangeness that it's showing right now. It's not necessarily due to light itself, but reflections that they're all over the place. And then, a camera, because, there is a really dark area right there, which is blue. I'm talking about, the back wall right here. Right here. So this is like a cool counterpart for that orange light area right here. And, camera is not as complex as our eyes, and we could just simply go ahead and adjust our eyes accordingly, so it kind of blends together in one continuous environment. But camera cannot do that. It cannot, it's not going to get adjusted. So yeah, let me turn this on. Maybe if I turn the back ones on, the backlight. So it's just going to be bouncing. It's not going to be directly linked to that. That might help. Well, it doesn't help. I still can't see, so that's not going to work as well. So, I'm going to strain my eyes, and that's the only thing I can do. And I'm not sure. Just give me a second, please, because for some reason, YouTube does not respond. I don't know what happened. So please give me a second to correct it. Okay, something is not right with YouTube stream, and I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I hope it's recording. Let me do this real quick. I'm just going to stop streaming, and I will reconnect again. I'll be back in like 2 seconds, or 5 rather, or 10. Be right back.